Taylor Swift's responsible for the destruction of the human race.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, audience.
What's cracking, G?
Me? Or them?
You? I'm asking you. Tell me.
Yeah, actually comment on our videos. Watch them first, but
And then before we forget, don't forget to click that subscribe button.
Yeah, because we're getting a lot of... Well, we're getting some viewers.
We're getting a fair amount of viewers, but no one's subscribing.
Yeah, are we bad? Tell us if we're bad.
If we're bad, just say you suck.
Yeah, and then we'll continue anyway.
Don't leave us in the dark.
We're not doing this for critical praise.
No, we're just doing this because we've got nothing else to do on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's new with you in music?
I found out the reason why we're not getting subscribers.
Is it that?
Yeah. Nothing new in terms of listening to music. I've found out that Metallica are headlining Download 2 nights at
What do you
Download.
think of that?
Well, I think I'm not going to go still because I've heard them live and yeah, they're good, but I don't want to see them in a field.
I felt that was a big cop-out from Download.
To have 2 sets.
Yeah. Like, I was looking forward to, okay, who are the 4 headliners going to be? Nah, 3.
Yeah.
And as someone who's not really a fan of Metallica, that's half of the headliners. Not for me.
Isn't one of them Bring Me the Horizon?
Bring Me the Horizon and Slipknot.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to go to that. How about you? You've been in Iceland, haven't you? Did
Yeah.
you pick up any Icelandic music?
Oh, I already know Daddy Freya.
What?
Daddy Freya
What's that?
from Eurovision.
Oh, right.
Otherwise, I think the only Icelandic music I know is Björk, and I know of Sigur Rós, but I don't know if I've heard Sigur Rós.
Yeah, I've not heard Sigur Rós.
We were in a shop in Iceland, and some non-English music came on, and turns out I think it was Blackpink.
Really?
So, yeah.
They are in everyone's area.
Yeah. Otherwise, still doing my new album every day. Had an Elvis album the other day that was really good.
Yeah.
I did have, quite frustratingly, so I was obviously listening to this album every couple of days anyway that we're doing today, which is Midnight by Taylor Swift. Midnights, I apologise. And while I was away in Iceland, I got a Taylor Swift album, which was the album of the day.
The first one?
No, it was Evermore. It's called.
Oh, like one from last year.
2020, I think.
Well, annoyingly, I know about this person now.
Right. But yeah, Evermore is considered one of the 1001 albums you must hear before you die. Coming to today's album, starting as we do with the album art. What did you make of that?
So it's her with a lighter.
If you hear squeaking, it's my shoes.
Yeah, it's horrible. I don't know what to make of it. Maybe it'd be like a late night, chilled album. Is she ready to burn something? Preferably herself.
It just looks very boring to me. There's not much going on. Yeah, she's got a lighter. Is it making me think, oh, what's she going to do with that? No, it's making me think, alright.
And I don't know why, but I thought the album title was spelled wrong, but it's not. I thought it was Midnites, but I've just completely made that up.
Yeah.
Because I was going to criticise that. And it isn't even real. Oh well.
I know, like, there's a track at the end, because we listened to it on Apple Music, and the Apple Music edition says, like, hey, this is Taylor Swift, this is an album about 13 midnights in my life, something like that. So each track is about a different midnight that she had and something interesting that happened.
Well,
interesting.
Yeah, that's debatable.
Yeah. Were there any songs on the album that you really enjoyed?
I wouldn't say really enjoyed, no. The first song, Lavender Haze, I really liked some of it, but I didn't like that. And then, like, that ruined it for me because I was just waiting for it to happen again. I was like, oh, it's really annoying that it doesn't need to be there. And then there was another one, Midnight Rain, where it comes in and it's like this really deep produced voice. And I thought, that's awful. Like, why is it there? It's really bad. There wasn't any songs that I could say, yeah, this is brilliant.
Any songs that you liked, even just kind of leaned towards, like, oh, this one's not bad?
Bejeweled.
Yeah, that one was one of mine. I thought Bejeweled stood out.
Anti-Hero.
Right.
I didn't mind that one. But I think that's because I've heard that on the radio as well in work, so it's kind of in my head anyway.
Yeah. I didn't like Anti-Hero because I thought that those lyrics just seemed very lazy. Like, it's me. Hi. I'm the problem. It's me. Like, oh, alright.
Apparently she's known as the 21st century Bob Dylan.
Yeah, how?
I don't know.
And
Like a standard.
again, there is one song on here that really grates me, similar to last week. Maroon, track 2.
There's 2 songs that grate me. I hate that song.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't make any sense.
Exactly.
The lyrics.
I was saying to my partner Rach just before I left, so scarlet it was maroon.
Yeah.
That's like...
They're 2 different colours.
Yeah. My pants are so grey, they're green.
Yeah.
Like,
And what does it even mean?
yeah, and it's like she swallowed a thesaurus. Not swallowed a dick. I was going to say swallowed a dictionary.
That'll get some heat.
This album makes me think she's swallowed a dick. With this, the first time I listened to it, again, I've just been on holiday, I've been in like super happy mode. Any album you listen to, you're going to go in with some level of bias that's going to lean you one way or the other. If you're having the worst day ever, no matter what album you listen to, it's going to be dampened a bit by that.
Mm-hmm.
So I was the flip side of that. I was having an amazing day, dead excited, and this album brought me down.
Yeah.
I Lost You, the one I was dancing with in New York, no shoes. Looked up at the sky and it was maroon. The burgundy on my t-shirt when you splashed your wine onto me showed the blood rush to my cheeks, so scarlet, it was maroon. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
The mark on my collarbone, the rust, that's kind of reddish, that grew between telephones. The lips, they're red, that I used to call home, so scarlet, it was maroon. No, I'm not having that. That's
Lazy.
absolute nonsense.
It is nonsense.
Yeah.
But pop music's usually nonsense, but she's actually acclaimed for her songwriting skills.
Yeah, so you kind of put her on a high level of expectations. If it was, I don't know, some Gunther, some Euro pop, then it's kind of like you expect that to be a bit stupid, but that's kind of the goal of it with music like that sometimes, just to be a bit silly, just kind of tongue-in-cheek, silly, fun pop music.
When I was reading the, I can't remember if it was this album, but she's been described as a cultural vitality, this woman. It's like, I'm pretty sure if she didn't exist, the world would be okay.
I just don't get it. Like you say, I know that she's such an acclaimed songwriter, and with that Evermore, I was reading about that, and it was saying, I know we're not reviewing that album here, but she'd already released another album 6 months before that, but she was on a songwriting spree where she had to get everything out. It's like, just stop.
Yeah, I agree. Stop.
Like I say, there were a couple songs on there that I didn't mind. I didn't mind Bejeweled. There was a slower one towards the end that I quite liked. Sweet Nothing. I don't know if you remember that one. So that was like a really laid back one, and that was, I would say that I liked that song. I quite enjoyed it. But just for the most part, it was just so dull, annoying in bits. Like, I don't know if it was Maroon or it might have been that first song. There's just kind of a sample of like every 4 bars, like on the 3rd beat or something, it goes, ah. Did that need to be there? Yeah. So it's annoying in bits. The lyrics are bad for the most part.
Vigilante shit. That's a really bad, and I can say that because it's called that.
Yeah.
That's a really bad song.
There's just seems to be some kind of just shoehorned in swearing for the sake of it.
I thought that as well. It's like, oh, she's a badass now. Fucking, like, just saying that word, and I can say that as well because
it's the lyrics,
Yeah. Just every now and then it's like, you'd have had the same effect even if it wasn't there. It just sounds like you're a child who's learned that word recently.
It's like, hey everyone, look what I'm going to say. When this album came out, the top 10 in the Billboard charts was all Taylor Swift songs. So I'm very aware we're probably in the minority listening to this and going, well, this is rubbish. Yeah. But I would love to hear what people get from it because I can't see it. Who's listening to Maroon and saying, I really vibe with these lyrics?
Yeah, maybe everyone thinks Burgundy's, what was it? No,
Scarlet, it was Maroon.
Maybe everyone thinks that.
But even if it was, like, if I was to, I don't know, what are two words that mean the same thing? Dog and canine. That's such a dog, it's canine.
I was really hoping you were going to say dog and cat then.
Like, even if they are the same, it doesn't really bear saying because it's obvious.
Yeah.
So, if they are both the same thing, what's the point? And if they're not the same thing, you're talking nonsense.
Yeah, and the first 2 songs on this album, Lavender Haze and Maroon. So, on Taylor Swift's Midnights, like you said, these songs are all about midnight she's experienced. She's just thinking about colours. So, yeah, that needed to be on an album.
Yeah, there was a song as well, and I know we're both kind of just going on a crusade here, aren't we?
Cancel culture. Don't release another album, Taylor Swift.
Mastermind. If Mastermind was written the other way around, that song is all about, like, I had it planned from the first date that you were going to fall for me. Like, coercing someone into falling for her and sleeping with them. So you've written a song here about coercing someone to sleep with you.
Yeah.
And you're renowned.
Yeah, like some of these things I get that she's probably going for female empowerment, but it ends up sounding like she sounds like a dick.
Yeah. She does, yeah. Yeah, we've discussed the odd song that we liked, the few songs that we hate.
Yeah.
So, if I was to ask you the question of putting a number on it, I've got a number in mind.
Yeah.
What's your number?
2.
2, mine too. Yeah. I will say the second time listening to it, it didn't seem as bad for whatever reason. I don't know why. But the fact that I could be on like a holiday high and then I'm like, oh, this was awful. If I was just kind of in neutral mode, it feels like I'd be pulling my ears off. I don't want to listen to it anymore.
Yeah, I think I've judged this album more harshly as well, just because of the acclaim this woman receives for her songwriting.
Yeah, I think is fair.
Yeah.
Because she's so renowned for her songwriting. She should be on a different expectation, and this just didn't do anything for me. When I was listening to Evermore, there's some songs on there that are quite interesting. There's the first song, Willow, which is very interestingly composed.
Was that about my gerbil?
No. And there's a song on there, Nobody, No Crime, which was with Haim, and it's kind of like a bit of a country rock song about getting away with murder. And like, that's an interesting premise. There's no interesting songs on this album.
No.
Like, the themes of each song, there's nothing where it's like, oh, she's gone a bit out of the box there.
It just all, I don't know, it was just all kind of anodyne. Like, there wasn't any punch to it.
Yeah.
I don't know what I think she was going for like a laid back, something you could chill out to, but it just ended up being boring.
I think she tried to just go for all the safe options, but it went too safe for me. So if I was to say music as a whole, based on this album, judging music and thinking, is it good though?
I'd rather beat my head with a stick.
Go on then.
Nah, I haven't got a stick.
If I was to be coming to planet Earth for the first time, like, oh, what's this music that I've heard about? And someone shows me Midnights by Taylor Swift, I'd say, nah, I'm not into music.
Yeah.
It's not for me.
So Taylor Swift's responsible for the destruction of the human race because she's just bad.
But an even bigger point, she's also responsible for the run that we've had of albums being good.
Yeah.
We've had like quite a few in a row, and Taylor Swift, the reputable songwriter, has made us say, actually, no, it's not.
Yeah, she was a woman of the 21st century, apparently.
Was she?
Or a woman of the decade or something.
Can't be woman of the 21st century.
Yeah.
Can't be a pop musician.
Well, that's what Wikipedia said.
So anyway, join us next week. So it's the album Smithereens by Joji. To Smithereens.
Yeah. To shred, you see.
Exactly. Bye then.
Subscribe.
Subscribe, yes.